Hey everybody, Billy Bob here, and we're just getting rolling. We'll get our guests on here in just a second. We're a little behind here on Facebook. It says the live video is starting, but it hasn't yet. But if you want to jump on over to YouTube, go to Billy Bob's Backyard channel, Billy Bob's Backyard Podcast, I think it is. But go to the channel, go specifically into the channel, and you'll be able to get that. Not sure what we got going on with Facebook. I can't do much about it at this point because it said it's starting. So hopefully we'll get caught up there in just a minute. A couple quick housekeeping things. As I said, you can check us out over on the YouTube Billy Bob's Backyard Podcast channel. Go into the channel directly, look for the video, and then hopefully Facebook Live here will be up in just a minute on the Billy Bob's Backyard Podcast page. So if you're out and about and you want to go watch the Buckeyes with a big group of people, go up to Captain Kurtz and Siesta Key, and they probably have 200-300 people there. They can fit up to 500. So want to do that. And then immediately following, well, I don't know immediately, it depends when we get done, but at 10 a.m. Eastern time, the OHIO Podcast Boys, they'll be over on YouTube, and then their new channel, Patreon, doing a call-in show, and then that'll lead right into their game watch. So let me just check one more thing here, see if we're still buffering. So my apologies, but we're still buffering on Facebook. So hopefully we'll get on there soon. I'm going to bring our guests in. Maddie Butcher. Maddie's from across the pond over in Australia, I think Griffin, but I'm going to let him tell you. And then my brother, Foxy Bob, he's up there in that godforsaken state. So here we got Maddie Butcher. He's a Buckeye fan, obviously. And there's my bro Ham. Hey, guys.
How are you, boys?
All right. Well, hopefully, maybe you guys are the lucky charm. Not yet. It says we're still buffering on our YouTube or our Facebook page. So I don't know. I've tried to refresh my page and it's not popping. Refresh my page on my phone. We're not popping there yet. So another new experience, guys, I've either had where I get right on or I don't get on at all, or I get on 30 minutes later. So, a little bit of now, Maddie, you've done some live stuff with the mix up, right?
Yep.
And
yep.
And did you have any mix ups with the mix up?
Mate, not initially, but I sort of have been a bit quiet the last, say, 12 months, just due to my job, because my job is I run a little sports club here in Griffiths, New South Wales, Australia. So I found it hard to do live streams at night. So I've sort of been a bit quiet the last couple, 6-7 months. Doing live streams, but I never had any dramas, but I never sort of had this situation in interviewing people like this. I sort of just go to the house and do interviews or on site and go from there. So this is when you asked me, man, I was like, yep, done. Even though it's 12 a.m. here in Australia.
Yeah, it's midnight.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
and you're going to watch the Buckeyes, right? So you're going to watch them in a couple hours. So you're going to watch them in the middle of the night, or are you going to record it and watch it?
No, so I'm going to try my best to watch it because my so I support a lot of teams in football and whatever not. So my English rugby league team are playing in the grand final and they kick off at 4 a.m. So I'm at my brother-in-law's place. I said to him, look, if you want me to come out, you're going to have to try and stick up to 4 a.m. to watch footy. So I'm going to try my best to do it. I'll watch it on my phone and we'll go from there.
Little birthday party action. Is that correct?
Correct. Even though like we've been celebrating, we went up to the Gold Coast up in Brisbane or Queensland for the last 2 weeks, and we've done a fair bit of celebrating up there. So yeah, so these are probably more recovery beers than anything.
Okay. So and Maddie, before I get Foxy Bob involved here, tell everybody how you became a big Buckeye fan.
Buckeyes? Yeah. So back in 2018, I always watched college football. I sort of just ventured to where the Aussies were, and unfortunately, the biggest Aussie at the time was Jesse Williams, who played for Alabama. So you sort of just gravitated to where the Aussies were playing. But then I won a trip via a sporting company, a sporting bets agency. And I won a free trip over to the States to watch Los Angeles Lakers versus the Golden State Warriors on Christmas Day 2018. And when that was in San Francisco. So when we went up to LA to watch the Clippers versus the Lakers, we stayed at the hotel. The Buckeyes played, and I didn't know at the time, but we would come back from somewhere. I said to my wife, I said, like, look at these buses. There's about 6, 7, 8 buses turn up, all red and everything. So they turned up, not knowing what was going on. Got in the lift, and there was this lady, I reckon she would have been, I don't know, 80, 85, 86. She had the earrings, the nail polish, the shoes, everything was red. I said, oh, what's going on today? She goes, oh, the Ohio State were playing in the Rose Bowl against, I think it was Washington at the time. I said, oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, awesome. And when I got in the lift later on just to go downstairs to get something, I seen this kid, like, and at the time I was 7 years ago, I would have been, 40, I would have been about 35, 36. So twice the age of these kids. And I've looked up this bloke. Like, I'm not small, but I looked at this bloke and, hey, mate, how you doing? He goes, good, thanks. And I was like, oh, damn, this dude's like 18, 19. So I'm looking at this kid, and you could feel the weight when they all got in the lift. I thought, these kids are huge. Like, I'm about 180 at the time. I was probably 100 kilos. And like, I played rugby league, and man, these kids are dead set huge. So anyway, spoke to these ladies, spoke to a few other people, went out to Universal, and everyone was wearing white, red and white, or whatever colours great they were at the time. And I got back and I said to the wife, I said, right, I've got to pick a college team. She goes, we'll pick the team that was in the hotel at the time. So ever since then, I was Ohio State. I got rid of all the hats that I had just from where I went over my course of going to America during the years. Got rid of I had Florida, Miami, a couple of these. Just
yeah, but you didn't get rid of your Yankees hat.
No way, no.
You know, the evil empire. And you're a Giants fan too, right?
Yeah, man. So I stayed up yesterday.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, by the way, good news, guys. I got it while we're talking. I don't know. I'm even surprising myself here. I got it fixed that we are now streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So boys and girls, apologize for the delay, but we're here. You missed a lot. You missed all about Matty B down there in South Griffin, Queensland, Australia, right?
Yeah. No, so where I am. I'm in Griffith, New South Wales.
Griffith, New South Wales. Okay. Well,
yes.
Okay.
So to get to the Gold Coast last week, it took me 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
The Outback and the Down Under are far and wide. So Foxy Bob, you got your room all rocking and rolling there. You're up in that godforsaken state. What's the weather? I mean, you got a pullover on. You're in your office, right?
Yeah. You know, hey, it's a beautiful morning. About 47 degrees, a little blue sky. So you know, Maddie, I don't know what that is from the Celsius perspective. Sorry, I can't give you the accurate.
I'm on the phone right now trying to figure it out.
Oh,
47.
yeah, we were trying to figure the time out the other day, so that was a challenge in and of itself.
Yeah.
By the way, we're probably about 20 seconds or so for everybody watching. We're about 20 seconds behind, 25 seconds behind on Facebook, and I think we're probably okay on YouTube. So just giving you some updates. So, all right, people are here for football, right? And you guys are here to talk about football.
Wait,
And
before that,
oh,
it sounds like Maddie's pulling an all-nighter because, if it's midnight there right now, the rugby championship doesn't start till 4 a.m. Okay, you got it. We're good. He's got an all-nighter going.
what did they run out of that big, beautiful Billy Bob Bud Light just right over there or what?
Well, the only place I can get that's in Victoria, in Melbourne. There's an outlet centre that sell it, and because it sells out so quick, I can't get it very often. So
Okay.
Corona is my go-to, and there's this here. It's called Hardy.
Oh, that'll screw with the narrative of it. The sales are down. You can't even hard rated. Oh,
It's like a
alcoholic lemon.
Yeah, so it's what, vodka, Freddie? It's like a vodka lemonade type thing.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
So yeah, no, I'll be right. It's the things you do to support your teams.
Yep. Go ahead, Foxy. You got something else there?
No. I was just, trying to understand where Maddie's going. I'm pulling the all-nighter, football.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
only selling, he's going to watch football.
So it's actually Sunday morning there, right, Maddie?
Correct.
Yeah.
So
it's
Sunday
10
past
morning.
12.
So you don't have to work at the Hanford Sports Club on Sundays, do you?
I'm still on holiday, so what happened was because it's my brother-in-law's birthday, I said to him, I'll come out here tomorrow, like Sunday afternoon. And then my wife got home from Sydney from work, and she goes, "Oh, are you going to go out to Freddie's house?" I said, "Oh no, we've arranged
not
to go."
Freddie, not Freddie. How do you pronounce his last name?
Moala.
Moala, the DJ. Is he a DJ?
Hey.
Where is Freddie? Pop
in the background.
Oh, but isn't he a DJ?
Correct.
Yeah, there you go.
So
he's a member of the group. Freddie's a member of our group.
He is. So I said to him, I said, all right, I'll come out. But I said, if I come out, I've got to bring the computers, have it all set up, and then you have to watch a footy with me. So it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Nice.
So you were concerned that American people wouldn't understand how you interpreted American football, right? Is that what you texted me?
Yeah. So my biggest thing was like I can watch sport, and I love watching more American sport more than Australian sport because for the sole fact of I don't know the rules in American football, don't know a lot of rules in basketball, ice hockey, or anything. So I can't sit there and like go, oh, what was this tackle for? Blah, 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 blah. When I watch rugby league or Aussie rules, Australian football, I sit there and analyze it and pick it apart like no tomorrow. And it sort of takes away from the game, like how you guys would do with college football or NH. Like I was watching the Giants yesterday, and when I seen Cam Scatterbury get pulled up for taunting, I'm like, taunting? Where's the taunting? And he looked at the player and said something, then took off and went bang. And I'm like, no, this is wrong. This is a grown man's sport.
Well, at least he didn't spit at him.
Yeah, exactly. But man, Cam Scatterbury, I love him. He's just nuts.
You gotta love him, right? And did you see Jackson Dart high-five the referee? The referee had his hand up, placing the ball, and Dart high-fived him. So,
but that's what we need. We haven't had like Russell Wilson had one throw and it dribbled along the ground.
Russell Wilson, he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a guy. I don't know if you saw my show yesterday, Morning Joe. You know who Morning Joe is? Joe Scarborough. He said that the Jackson Dart did nothing relevant or nothing that was earth-shattering at Ole Miss. I go, well, then how the hell is he the number 25 overall pick in the draft, right? I mean, he should have probably watched Ole Miss when they didn't have Dart. Now they got this kid Trinidad Chambliss, who's pretty good. But anyway, so did I interrupt or were you done? Or
No, I'm done. I'm sorry. The
All
beer
right.
just went down the wrong way.
So, the beer's going down here. Yeah. Don't be dribbling. This isn't
No
basketball.
dribbles
This
here,
is
mate.
This is footy. So, all right. So I sent you guys some numbers.
Yep.
And I didn't ask you to prepare, but I don't know. Foxy, while you're looking those numbers up, Matty B, you told me you had the last 5 outcomes versus Illinois. Is that what you told me?
Yeah, correct, mate. So, like, I was even sort of looking before during the week because, apart from Texas, like I've been, from my point of view, I've been really impressed. I'm a defensive man. Attack, to me, defense wins games, regardless of what you play. So I thought I'll go look through the last 5 games and not realizing how often we don't play them. First goal, it goes from 2012. We won 52-22. 2013 was 60-35. The championship year of 2014 was 55-14. 2015 was 28-3, and then last game was back in 2017, which was 52.
We haven't played them in 8 years.
Yeah. And not knowing how they pick the teams apart and who you play each year type thing. That's why I looked up, and when you sent me the messages, I said, "Yeah, man, I've already got this going. I'm ready to go." And I love defense. Attack, yeah, that's because I was a forward in rugby league. The defense was, that was our number one thing. So that's why I take more of like a pride in when the offensive line's on there, so I can see that they're the blokes who do the hard yards for the backs.
Right. So Foxy, I'm going to say hold those numbers for a minute because I'm going to do something, and then we'll integrate those numbers into. I've got some stuff here that I want you guys to comment on, and maybe you can integrate that. Does that work for you? Is that all right?
Yeah.
I guess it does. It's my show. So
it's your show. So I'll listen to what you're saying.
All right. So here we go. Let's talk about we're going to talk a little bit about the logistics. So today it's a noon game. Ohio State, Illinois. It's a noon game. It's on Fox, big noon kickoff. The weather at noon is going to be 70 degrees in Champaign, Illinois. Winds winds out of the east-northeast at 7. And then by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is somewhere probably into the fourth quarter, it's going to be 73 degrees, but the wind will be the same, east-northeast at 7. So the weather is going to be beautiful. It's a beautiful day in the Midwest, right? They're playing at, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correct, Gies, Gies, Gies Memorial Stadium. So this stadium was built in November 3rd, 1923. And it was renovated 3 different times, 85, 2008, 2013. Holds 60,670 people. There'll probably be 70 in there today. Well, no, 65. Can't get to 70 out of 60. So it is field turf, which is the newest version of AstroTurf. But it looks like their plan is to go to natural turf starting next year. So they're going back to natural turf. The stadium, so when we're talking about the wind, which isn't that much, but the stadium runs north and south. And the open end of the stadium is the north end of the stadium. So if there is some wind with an east-northeasterly wind and you're kicking into the north end, you're kicking into the open end for field goals. And then lastly, which is pretty cool, that they have about 200 pillars around the outer facade of the stadium. And on those pillars, they have the names of people that went to Illinois and either served or died in World War I. So just some interesting factoids. We can look at, and this is where I'm going to ask you guys if you got some comments. We'll go Foxy and then Maddie. Illinois, they are ranked set, and this is on offense. And these numbers surprised me. They ranked 75th overall offensively, 13th in the Big Ten. That's yards per game. And then rushing, they rank 100th overall, again, 13th in the Big Ten, passing 48th overall, 9th in the Big Ten, and then points per game, 25th and 9th. Conversely, on defense, they're on yards per game given up, they're 94th in college football. So they are not stellar. And I was actually, I was actually just listening to Bogsy's podcast with the Illinois guy, and he said we like to talk about the offense, not so much the defense. And they've got a couple injuries, some key players on defense. One is their all Big Ten starting cornerback who's out for the year, and then they have their backup linebacker, one of the backup linebackers, Daniel Brown, who's out. And then they got some guys back that are key players, a couple wideouts. But defensively, they're 94th overall yards per game in FBS and 16th out of 18 teams in the Big Ten. And points per game, 72nd, 14th in the Big Ten. And those numbers include the Indiana game, but 14 of those 60-some the Indiana game came on special teams miscues, from what I understand. Foxy, what do you think there?
Well, the way I look at it, this is one of your favorite guys, Brett Bielema, is going to do anything and everything he can today to try to be creative as hell to score some points, because they're going to need to score some points.
Right.
And so I'm really looking forward to it's not Matty B, but it's Matty P, Patricia, and what he dials up for the game today. Because again, the Buckeyes have been pretty fortunate. Their turnovers or the lack of turnovers has been a good thing, obviously. But there's always a game where there's a couple here, turnover there. And, it puts stress on the system. And I think that's what Bielema is going to work towards today. And because his defense is going to need turnovers. I think the run game. I think the run game for Ohio State's going to be interesting. That's going to be a fun one today. I have a feeling, because Illinois is not good on the run. So
135th overall out of 100. I thought there were only 132 teams in FBS, but they're 135th against the rush.
Yeah. I guess they had to throw a few more in there. They're so bad.
Wait a minute. Where am I looking?
I don't know. Where are you getting your stats from there?
Oh, 130. You give up 135. They're 62nd in the FBS.
Okay. I was going to say. I knew they were bad, but I didn't know they were.
Well, whatever. But to your point of Bielema's got to draw up some stuff. Apparently, one of his traits that he's good at is special teams. Now, they gave up 14 points in special teams against Indiana, but he's, again, to your point, he's good at conjuring up some special teams, whether it be trying to block a punt, running a fake punt, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. So, I think, it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be a couple times today, maybe he'll do something and he'll have some success, in between the 20s. But, as the way the Buckeyes have shown, boy, they can really tighten it down when you get into the red zone.
Yep. So, hey, Matty, here you go. Here's another stat.
Yep.
Illinois scores 37 points a game. They give up 24. And the Buckeyes score about the same, 37 on average, but they give up 5.
Yes, I did have that. So overall for the 5 games, we're looking at 187 scored, 25 scored against. And to me, that's, like I said, I don't know the full ins and outs of everything, but I'll put it into my perspective, how I see it.
Yeah.
So a stat come out when I was watching the National Rugby League Grand Final. The last 5 teams who have won the Grand Finals have become in the top 4 for offense and top 4 for defense. So you could probably put that out a little bit because there's 130 odd teams. So when you said the defense is like 130 something, it's like, yeah, well, yeah, that's not going to help you. You at least want to be in the top 30 for defense in my books, or at least top 25. Watching the Giants yesterday doing what they did with Cam Scatterboo and the tight ends, you could just see the way Cam runs. It's to me, it's full beast mode every time. It's like
without a doubt,
and it just tied down the defensive line of Philadelphia, which I loved. Like I said, I'm a defensive bloke, but the way he was running and just tying down the defensive blokes, that's what we need. To me, I know it's. I still think we'll win convincingly, but if I see the defense doing their work and stopping, 10 points minimum, 10 points max, I'll be so happy. I'll be more happy if we keep them to a minimum and scoring 1,000 points.
The Illinois guy in the interview with Bogsy, he was saying that he thinks they're gonna be the first team to score double digits on the Buckeyes. So we'll see. But hey, I just noticed something here. Maddie and I got beards, and my brother Foxy, he shaved.
I didn't shave this morning. Hey, I shaved this week.
But you shaved. You had a beard for a while. At least
I've noticed you, Bogsy, like last couple of weeks, because I've been on holidays. I haven't doing much social media. Day by day, like I had to have a shave when I got home because it was too. Like my kids said to me, "Dad, you're starting to get too many grays." Like I'm only 43. I said, "Well, say kids, this is what happens when I have to put up with your kids. This is from you."
I got a saying. I'm sure you guys have heard it. Gray is not an absolute.
Yeah, we know that you're going to start repping a product, I'm guessing, because mine's all gray.
Yeah.
You know what they say? No play for Mr. Gray. Keith Hernandez and Clyde Frazier.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Julian saying 1,300 yards, 101 for 126, averaging 80% passing completion. But here's a stat. So he's got 3 picks. 2 of them I thought were silly, and he probably should have held on to the ball. Some people say they were. I thought that wasn't the hard stuff.
That's just going down the wrong way.
Oh boy.
Yeah, obviously.
It's all good.
All right. You okay?
Sorry.
You okay, Butcher?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So he's thrown 3 picks, but he's only been sacked twice for 12 yards. And, they talk about how great a quarterback Luke Altmaier for Illinois is. But Altmaier, and he has more yards passing. He's completed 73% of his passes for 1,570 yards, 12 touchdowns. Touchdowns are about the same, saying 13. But he's been sacked 19 times for a minus 134 yards. Compare that to 2 sacks for 12. Now, I don't know that he's played a defense quite like Ohio State has been year to date. And Ohio State, you guys correct me if I'm wrong and weigh in on this, but for the most part, Ohio State has done whatever damage they have rushing the passer with 4 guys. Now, they stunt them. They might pull a D lineman out and put a linebacker in, but
yeah.
So, Matty, you got anything on that?
Yeah, look, from watching, I watched the Ohio State put out a highlights video of their run to the finals last year, and I watch it probably once a week. This is like I'm that dedicated, and just to try and learn more and more each day. And you can see the defense was brutal, loved it, but this year it just seems everyone's clicking from the start. Like from my eyes, everyone's clicking from the start, and they're not even getting a chance to try and throw a touchdown pass or anything like that. Like I watched the highlights from last week's game, man. I just loved it. The defense, Caleb Downs is a genetic freak through my eyes. How Alabama sort of let him go, you just think, damn, man, what he's doing. But we'll take him every day of the week. Give him what he wants. Dude's a freak. So yeah, I just love. I think the defense this year has improved from last year.
So I'm going to tell you one quick thing before Foxy jumps in there. That I have a guy used to be a member of a group. Not going to talk about why he's not, but he's a Bama fan, and he texted me or messaged me after the M game last year, and he said, "I told you Ryan Day was a lousy coach, and they sold Caleb Downs a bill of goods, and he'll be sorry." So. Yeah, and you know what? That same person didn't text me at all or message me at all after the national championship game. So
yeah,
enough
I've
said.
got a couple of questions about that, but I'll ask at the end of the video.
Yeah, I may not answer it on the grounds that I may, I don't want to throw too much, but I'll.
Oh no, it's through Australians' eyes.
Okay, so Foxy, you're get your input on this. Altmaier taking a lot of sacks, the Buckeyes doing it with pretty much four guys getting pressure.
Yeah, first of all, from the Buckeye perspective, we've been pretty conservative. Julian Sayin really hasn't done they haven't really opened it up from a playbook perspective. So a lot of the passes, Washington, they opened it up a little more, but throughout the first part of the season, it's been
Minnesota a little more, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But again, so the offensive line has played very well and given him great protection. So he's gotten the ball out quick, and so that's all great, and I haven't really watched a lot of Illinois football. I know their offensive line is not the greatest, proven obviously there's some stats you threw out there. But I go back to Matty P again, using Arvell Reese, using the stunts like you said. The guy's playing chess, and it seems like other guys are playing checkers, whoever we're playing from an offensive and versus.
Yeah. And
it's been pretty amazing to watch, quite honestly. I'm sure there was a lot of people not sure what was going to happen with Patricia as he came in. And, being up here in the state up north, the exposure you had to the guy when he was with the Lions, which was a big failure, so everybody probably there's a little question mark. Man, it's just been amazing in terms of how he dials it up, the plays, the disguises, confusing the quarterback.
But a question for you, both of you blokes. I've been watching ESPN the last few days, and they've been talking, even in Australia, been talking about Matt Patricia being a step up from
Jim Knowles.
How do you guys see the difference from going from Matt Patricia coming from the NFL to Jim Knowles?
Well, what's interesting, when you think about Jim Knowles, he came in, he had this great reputation, and early in seasons, the defense would give up a lot of yards, and it seemed like it took 50% of the season before they dialed it in. Now, what you and I don't know is how much Ryan Day or others had to help dial that in. To me, Patricia's from the start. He's got the boys playing for him, and he's got the design of the defense. Just it again, like I said, I think it's confusing the hell out of a lot of offensive people.
Yeah, so he's going more in the NFL type defense, and ironically, when the Blue got better, one of the things they did is brought in Jesse Minter, who is an NFL defensive coordinator. But a couple things. One is Knowles, and it's been pretty widely confirmed this year. Last year, it was a lot of speculation, a lot of rumor. There was infighting between Larry Johnson Sr. and Jim Knowles, and that hasn't happened with Patricia. They've, in fact, all the defensive coaches that were the same coaches with the exception of Knowles that they stayed. Seems like there's some continuity with them. And the other thought of that is, so Jim Knowles philosophy was he was okay if he gave up 4 or 5 big plays, like chunk plays in a game, as long as, it could do the bend but don't break thing. And it doesn't appear like Patricia's that way. That said, ladies and gentlemen watching, do not get freaked out if Illinois goes down on the first drive they have, goes down, gets some, makes some plays, and gets some yardage. And whether they kick a field goal or whatever, this is part of the process of making adjustments to what you thought you were going to see, what you are seeing. And last week, and I think people are calmer this year. I don't know why. I guess maybe because we won a national championship. People aren't as freaked out, and they're not messaging me and texting me, and it's like, they gained 20 yards on that play. So when you look at the sum total, I think Minnesota gained 60 yards on their first drive.
Yeah.
Okay. They gained 160 the whole game. So after the first drive, they gained, and then there was another drive late in the game, they gained 20 or so. So, half of their yards were on 2 drives. So there are adjustments to be made. To Arvell Reese, I think it's unbelievable the way Patricia has put him in a position, whether they call him the spy or the robber or whatever, and Arvell Reese has adapted to that unbelievably, right?
Sure.
He doesn't seem to get caught out of position. And quite honestly, neither does Downs, neither does Styles, and the lineman. It is crazy the way he's got these guys playing. Let's hope it continues today. The guy to watch, we know who to watch for Ohio State, but the guys to watch for Illinois, obviously Luke Altmaier, their top wide receiver, Hank Beatty. The thing was that he's got more yards than both Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, but I guess if you combine Smith and Tate, you're way ahead. And then their running backs, Khalil Valentine. I think it's Khalil Valentine is their leading rusher. And then they got this kid, Caden Fagan, who's 6'3", 250 pounds. And I saw him, I think it was last week. He blew by, when he got an opening, he blew by the defense and he outran them. So he's got speed. Those are the guys to watch for in Illinois' offense. I'll be honest, I don't know who to watch on their defense. I know, as I said, Xavier Scott, Daniel Brown are out. I don't know, maybe you guys are more familiar with the Illinois defense, some of their stars. If you are, go ahead. Whoever wants.
Foxy?
Foxy, no?
No.
Matt?
Foxy's.
Okay, so we'll skip that. All right. Khalil Valentine, 61 carries, 323 yards. Caden Fagan, 79 for 316. That's about 4.5 yards a carry between them. Of course, our top guy is Bo Jackson, the true freshman, 48 carries, 360 yards, 7.5 yards a carry. And then Peoples, who he hasn't looked that impressive, but he's gaining 5.6 yards a carry. Now, is some of that in cleanup? I don't know. Last week he was doing it, I think, against the ones. But before we go on to the top 25, let's give me your final thoughts on Buckeyes. And if you want to make a prediction, make one. If you don't, it doesn't have to be a score prediction. It could be a prediction on how you see the game. So, Maddie, you go first.
Okay. I think they'll just really hone in on defense. Listen, I'm a big defensive man. Just look at some of the stats here. If we can get Bo Jackson and people sort of just wearing down the defense, that's where, to me, watching Julian saying, he's not doing anything a freshman or a rookie would do. He's just doing what he has to make the defense, the offense work. It's not flashy. To me, it's not flashy, but the plays are crisp, beautiful. And that's on the back of the defense and Bo Jackson and Peoples And they even like CJ Donaldson, like he hasn't had much play, but like he's still 45 carries for 193 yards. I know probably the hard yards that he's doing. So like I said, I think I said on Bogsy's page, I went 38-10, but that's purely just Ohio State grinding down the defense of Illinois and just doing what they have to do. And as one bloke, I think it was Joel Klatt, said, Ohio State are playing at 100% in second gear. And that's freaky. They're doing what they've got to do. And he goes, their defense is NFL defense since Matt Patricia's come here. And for me, I watched Joel Klatt a fair bit because he just, as I said to Eric, he puts it in like the ABC books for dummies type thing for us over here. Like he explains it and you sort of can understand what he means when you watch it. And the way he said, like Ohio State's playing at 100% in second gear. So he said the worrying thing for the rest of the competition is when Ohio State step up into fourth gear at 100%.
Yeah, and Ryan Day, to your point of when you're talking about saying and he's doing the basic stuff and he's not making errors, that's Ryan Day, day after day after day.
Yep.
Do the routine things routinely. That's what I want you to accomplish.
As we say over here, like the one percenters. Do the
right.
1%ers correctly, and then the rewards will follow.
And over here, 1%er has a different meaning, which we won't talk about today. But
for us, the 1%ers do the dirty work.
So to your point, Illinois, and I know I mentioned this, but Illinois passing yards, their defense is 115th. I do have it correct here. They are 115th in the FBS and 17th in the Big Ten in passing defense. So, Foxy, give me your thoughts on the game today. Final thought.
I think Illinois is going to be ready to play, and in the first half, they're going to have some positive yards, and I think it's probably going to be a little closer in the first half than what maybe some people would expect. Maybe that's a touchdown, but ultimately, I think it's going to be around 31-13 or 34-13. I think the Buckeyes are definitely going to pull away in the second half. But I think it's going to be a battle. So, and it'll be a good test and to see where these go. But again, the defense, to Maddie's point, I just think you get too many bodies, too many guys that are playing at a high level right now. And you mentioned him. I love Sonny Styles, and I think he just continues to perform. And I look for him and Reese to have big games.
Yep. So both of you guys are saying Buckeyes are going to beat the spot, but the game is going to be under because the under is 49.5. So
in terms of American betting, does that mean like the total score is going to be under 49.5?
Yeah. So the total, they do an over under. So they always do a half. So you never land that. But they do do an even number once in a while because there have been times, but typically not. But 49.5 is the total.
Yep.
Over or under, so you can bet that. There's Jaquez. What's his last name? The freshman at Ohio State, the defensive lineman Jaquez. I can't remember. Yeah. The people that do my shirts, Gemini Apparel, by the way, I'll give them a little plug. That's my my newest shirt there with little national champions on the sleeve. But anyway, their nephew plays. He's a freshman linebacker for Wisconsin, and he played with Jaquez at Buchholz in Gainesville, Florida. So a little tidbit on that. All right, we got a few minutes left here, about 15, 20. Let's look at some top 25s, noon games, and I'm not going to go through all of these, but I'm going to try and highlight some important. You got Bama versus Missouri. Anybody? The spot on that, they're at Missouri. Bama's a 2.5-point favorite, and their total is, SEC defense. Didn't we used to always hear about SEC defense? But their over-under is higher than the Buckeyes game. So,
yeah, I actually think Missouri is going to have a really good performance today, and I think it's going to come down to the last couple minutes in this game. Missouri's going to win by a field goal.
Now, Missouri has two guys that are important. People should look at. One is their quarterback, Bo Pribula, who was the backup to Drew Aller at Penn State. Some, I'm sure, are regretting Pribula leaving. And then they have, I think his last name is Hardy.
Yeah.
They got a big time running back, and Bama has struggled a little bit against the run. So,
Yep.
All right, Maddie, we'll go skip games here.
I'll pick a game for you.
Okay.
Yep. So I've got a friend who lives in Indiana, who I met up with after I seen Eric and the boys. So this one I've been sort of following Indiana purely because of her team. They've got Oregon.
Yep.
At Eugene, Oregon Stadium. I've only been watching highlights again of Indiana, and again, I'm pretty impressed. But against Oregon, I'll just take Indiana purely because that's my friend's team. One of my girls,
they're a 7.5 point underdog.
Yeah, I'll take them purely
because they're playing there, right?
Yeah, that's it. Purely at home. And to me, like I said, I follow the stats and everything, but they've sort of crept up for me. I never heard of Indiana as a top 10 team. Like you hear Oregon.
Well, they never were until last year.
Yeah. So I'll go Indiana in an upset by, I don't know, I'll go 6 points.
Okay. Indiana winning by 6 straight up?
Yep.
Okay. What do you think about the over 55 points? You think you think they can?
Yeah, I'll tell you because I just had the stats up here for Indiana. Let me just see if I can find it. They've had a few big wins, like the last. They had a 73-0 win. Hughes' win 73-0. That was their last. September 13. So they've had a few big wins. But again, top 3 team against Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot tougher than 73-0.
Indy by 6. All right. How about Foxy? I'll just let you pick the next game rather than me pick it for you. If you want, you could.
What's that? No. Go ahead. You've got your list, so go down.
Florida State Pitt. What do you think? Is Pitt got a shot? They're playing at Doak Campbell.
No.
They got a freshman quarterback, I guess, that they brought in last week.
Seminoles will take care of business.
Seminoles taking care of business, and they're favored by 10.5. All right. Do you have another one picked out, Maddie?
I'll pick this one out purely because of the reception they get worldwide because of the old man as coach. I'll go Iowa State versus Colorado.
So is Dion going to be on the sidelines?
Well, he
had
did more action on the sideline in Colorado.
Well, he had a procedure done this week, I think, for to remove blood clots from his leg.
Yeah.
So
I think they show him in Australia purely because it's Deion Sanders' coach, and it's a more of a ratings thing. Like I think I have certain ways. Like I won't give away my secrets, but I have certain ways where I can watch Ohio State every week. I think since I've started watching Ohio State since like 2018 on Fox Sports or ESPN over here, probably watched them about 3 or 4 times in 7 years. And like I said, I'll get up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. But Colorado have been getting more of a headline purely because of the old man and Shedeur Sanders. So I follow them just to see the reaction from Deion. But I think like this year, I think Iowa State should be too good.
By the way, Shedeur was officially named the backup quarterback to Dylan Gabriel for this week's Browns game. Yes.
Yep. I seen that today, but he was sort of humming and ahhing, and no one had an answer for him.
So who did you take in this Iowa State? Are you taking Colorado?
No, I'm going to take Iowa State.
Okay. After their drubbing last week by the University of Cincinnati Bearcats? Because that game wasn't as close as the score.
No. Like I said, because we get a fair bit of coverage over here because of Colorado, and we're being coached by Deion Sanders. That's
And I'll throw this out. Mrs. Billy Bob will give it an eye roll. She'll go, but there are some Buckeyes in that game that helped out pretty big, and that's Evan Pryor and Joe Royer, the tight end. So, yeah. So, hey, let's look at I'm not going to be politically correct here. I'm going to say it just the frickin' way it is. The Red River Shootout. Okay, the Red River Shootout. Oklahoma and Texas at the Texas State Fairgrounds, and OU is favored by 1.5. I have not heard it gone back and forth. Does anybody know, is John Mateer going to play in that game?
I heard he was probable.
So maybe that's why the spot's only 1.5, because I would think it'd be a little. But Texas has not looked impressive. Arch hasn't looked impressive. What do you guys think?
And on that, I was going to bring this up. I was watching one of the shows on over here, and the commentator said Eli and Peyton are going to go to the hospital and ask for a DNA check, because he said that's not their nephew. About how bad he is going. Yeah. As soon as I said that, I'm going to bring that up. I loved it. I thought, he was not impressive against us in the first game of the year, but man, some of the highlights I've seen.
Well, he wasn't.
Not impressive at all.
And let's face it, Ohio State played some lesser teams the second and third game of the year. But Texas didn't do themselves any favors playing San Jose State, New Mexico, and Sam Houston for 3 games before they get ready for, SEC play. So,
Texas,
I say right, that's the number 1, the number 2, and the number 4 team in the preseason polls are out of the top 25.
Yep.
And that's Texas, Penn State, and Clemson.
Yeah.
So I say if Mateer plays, I give Oklahoma an edge. Although some of that I base it on the M game. And quite honestly, if Wisconsin would have had an offense last week, they would have beat the Wolverines. I firmly believe that.
Yep.
I mean, they had 0 offense.
Yeah,
and their third string quarterback. But I know old Krusty Goldie will dispute that. He's probably watching. I haven't even looked at comments, man. Anybody comment? Nobody's watching. No, they are. Larry Daniels gave it 2 thumbs up. But, Krusty's not watching. He's out there tending to Tank the bull. If you've seen me post any pictures of him with Tank, you see any of those pictures?
Yeah.
Letting the bull nuzzle him while he's sitting in the field. I'm going to have he and Tank on.
There you go. That's a good idea.
I might get tanked. I may do that in person.
Ooh.
I may go there in person.
Yeah, that's a good live for you.
Let's see. I don't think NC State, Notre Dame. I don't think Notre Dame's got anything to worry about there.
No.
Georgia, Auburn. Let's talk 2 more games. We'll talk 2 more games.
Hold on. Who'd you pick in the OU in the Red River rivalry? Who'd you pick?
I said if Mateer plays, I'll take Oklahoma.
Oh, I'm taking Oklahoma either way.
Okay. Oklahoma's got a pretty good defense. All right, now can we move on?
Sure you can.
Okay. Georgia, Auburn.
By the way, I'll interrupt you one more time. I think the Oregon Indiana game, Indiana's going to need 2 turnovers to win that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they can get a little pressure and get a couple turnovers, they got a shot to win that game.
Yeah, but I didn't look at I didn't look at Oregon's their Dante Moore, how he susceptible is to sacks. But anyway, go ahead.
I think, but unfortunately, I think Dan Lanning's going to have that team ready to go, and they're gonna put it on Indiana.
You think the SIG is going to get snuffed out?
Yeah. Can't wait for the press conference after the game.
Yeah. Well, if you can't find it, you know what they say. Google it. Yeah.
Oh, love it.
Auburn, Georgia. They're playing at Jordan-Hare. Is it Jordan-Hare? But it's called Jordan-Hare, as them Southerners call it. Georgia's a 3.5-point favorite. Auburn hasn't produced any offense all year, although with no offense, they played Oklahoma to a game to where they could have beaten them. And I forgot who the other team they played here just recently. That pretty good team they should have or could have beaten. Was it Missouri? Did they play Missouri last week? Maybe. Don't know. Any thoughts, guys? Any thoughts on that game?
I think to me, Georgia's going to pull that out. You know, they're just gonna keep winning, and Kirby's trying to get that team rounded out as they get towards the end of the year. That's my thought.
All right, 2 last games, and we'll save Florida versus A&M at College Station, the 12th man. A&M's a 7.5-point favorite. Is Florida like? Are they real after pounding Texas, or was that an anomaly?
No, I got it real.
Real?
Yeah.
You say Florida's real?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think they'll win, but I think they'll still put up an almighty fight. Yeah, I watched the highlights again. Like I watched most. They have those 10-minute ESPN videos highlights.
Yep.
I was impressed. I still don't think it's going to be enough to beat Texas A&M, but I was impressed by the way Florida played last week.
Foxy?
I think that's going to be a really good game. You know, Florida, you know, Napier's been getting hammered. You know, he has a big win. I think, you know, the guy plays an unbelievable schedule. I think he's going to have the guys up and ready to go. I think it's going to be a great battle. That's one to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
7 p.m. on ESPN.
Yeah. I'm not sure who I would pick if it came down to it, but I'd probably still go with A&M. But I think it's going to be a great game.
All right, so last one, and then we'll talk, you know, about the most famous trophy that most people outside of Illinois and Ohio know about, but. The Wolverines versus the Trojans, 7:30 kickoff Eastern time. It's on NBC. It's in the Coliseum. Spot USC is a 2.5-point favorite. They're figuring not much defense here. 57.5 is the over/under. So, Foxy, you first, and then Maddie.
You know, USC, they're in an interesting position. Lincoln Riley, so he's got this game here, which to me, he's got to pull a W because I think he's got Notre Dame next week, right?
That is correct.
There's a lot of pressure on USC, and you know, Michigan, their offense has been improving every week. They're traveling out to USC though, so I think that game is probably going to go. Man, I got a coin toss here. I think Michigan's going to pull it out. Actually.
Well, and why do you say that? Is it their running game? Is it their their defense? Is it?
No. I think their defense. You know, they're solid. I mean, but I think their just offense is going to continue to improve, and Bryce. While he started as a freshman, by the end of the year, you know, the guy's going to be a hell of a competitor.
Hey, stop there for a minute.
Sorry.
I know you live up there, but they're not sucking you in.
No.
You know, you're calling him by his first name. Oh, Bryce. You know, Bryce is, come on, man.
No, I'm just telling you the way it is. I think the guy, hey, the reality is he's getting better. He's a solid young man.
Do we have to, okay, he's a good guy. Do we have to call him Bryce? I mean, can we call him Underwood or, you know, by his full name?
Well, I couldn't remember his last name. Sorry.
Underwood. There you go.
You know, I was up till 1:30 last night. You know, the Tigers were playing the Mariners. It went 15 innings.
Yes, and a walk-off single.
I mean, it was an unbelievable pitching battle and a great baseball game. I know we're on a football show here right now.
No, that's okay. That's all right.
Man, oh man. If anybody stayed up and watched it, they know what I'm talking about. It was a hell of a game.
Yeah, that SC game is
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Go ahead. What's that? 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, nothing better than day baseball, right, Matty B?
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Day baseball, I love it. Every day.
Yeah. I love day baseball. That's what my my buddy Billy Bad and I, the last 2 years I've been up, we go to 140, 140 afternoon games at the Jake in Cleveland. But matter of fact, we're going to the Browns Dolphins. I love day football too, by the way. But anyway, go ahead. You finish your thought. I interrupted you with Bryce.
No. I'm pretty much done on that.
You took the blue. All right, and they play SC in South Bend next week, so they don't have to travel. All right, so yeah, I think Notre Dame, because that game today is at home too, right?
Michigan game?
No, the Notre Dame game. I'm toggling back and forth here.
No, I don't know about Notre Dame.
Yeah, they're at home 2 weeks in a row, so SC's got to travel. But anyway, all right, here we go. Last thing, Maddie, are you familiar with the Illabuk Trophy?
No, I never heard of it.
So it is a trophy. It's a turtle. Now, where the hell there's some story about the turtle, and I can't remember. But Illabuk, Illinois, and Buckeyes. So it's called the Illabuk Trophy. It's a dumbass wood big turtle. Isn't it a turtle? Isn't it a turtle?
Yeah.
It is a turtle. And the winner of the game gets to keep the Illabuk Trophy. So the Buckeyes have held it now for 8 years at least, since that's the last time they played. And I lied. After you guys comment on that, I do have one little quick last comment that has nothing to do with football, but all about critters. So go ahead.
Good. I'll give you. Oh, are you?
Yeah. Any comments on the Illabuk Trophy or?
No.
Nothing.
But I would say, while the Illabuk Trophy is up for grabs today, so is the Peace Pipe Trophy. So if you know what matchup that is.
What is that like? I mean, you would think that would be like Oregon State playing Portland State, or the Woodstock. There are a couple Woodstock universities playing the Peace Pipe Trophy. What do we got?
Where's the address? Where's the address for this place? I'll go there.
Yeah.
The trophy, actually, that was the name for about 30 years, but the trophy's been renamed to the Battle of I-75. So the big game today, BGSU Bowling Green taking the Rockets.
The Toledo Rockets. All right. Yep. And so we got Eddie George versus what's his name? What's the coach at
I don't know
Toledo?
Who the coach at Toledo is.
All right. So give us what's going to happen. You're an alumni.
Yeah. Sold out game in Bowling Green at Deutsch Perry Stadium. I think the Falcons are going to roll 28-19.
Who's leading the conference right now?
Not Bowling Green. I don't know, actually. I don't have it in front of me.
OU, maybe?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
So Bowling Green, Wood County, Ohio.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. So,
all right.
That's my finishing comments, and go Bucks.
I don't know if I told this story yesterday or not, but either you get, I know Foxy has, but Maddie, you see the picture and the video I did with the vultures? Actually, they were vultures out in in Billy Bob's backyard, like 25, 30 vultures. So right where that was, just off the side of the preserve in the pond, there was a gator, about a 4 or 5 foot gator laying there. And they've been hanging out there. They'll hang out for a little bit and then they'll crawl into the preserve. But Wednesday it was. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking, the gator's sitting there. All of a sudden I see this black thing come slithering out. It was an otter, came slithering out of the preserve. And the gator saw him about the same time I saw him. And he took a big old chomp. And he got that. It was unfortunate because otters are kind of cool to watch. But he chomped down. He got that otter and gave it a little, and turned around and just kind of slinked right into the pond. And probably the death roll when he got
Uh,
underwater. So
my wife showed me a video of a crocodile alligator over there. A couple in Florida, I think it was, open up the back door and here's a big 6-foot alligator sitting right there. And Mel goes, "You'd love to live in the
you have Crocs, right?
Yep.
Hey? Yeah, you got Crocs. So
yes, crocodiles.
So maybe I should submit that story to Robert Irwin and see if Robert, if he's got time, if he's got time while he's dancing with the stars
the circle of life. The circle of life there, Leonard.
Yeah. All right. You guys got anything
before
else?
We finish,
yeah. Oh, yeah. You did have a couple things. Sorry there.
So I don't know why I thought of this last week, but I sent it to Bogsy, and dude's a busy man. After watching the highlights last week of Jeremiah Smith, does a player like Jeremiah Smith, would he prefer 10 to 12 receptions a game at 5 to 6, 7, 8, 9 yards a game? Or would he prefer 5 or 6 receptions at 10, 20, 30 yards a game?
Foxy, you want to answer that?
Does it make sense?
I think that's interesting.
I understand.
Interesting thought. And I think I'd go with the latter. I think he'd want, 10 plus yards, big plays.
Yeah.
Because he can really outdo the routes he runs. I think, that's where he's going to maximize his opportunities.
So I'm going to say I think he loves both. And the reason I say that is because that it wasn't last week, it was the week before, that drag route across the middle.
Yeah.
It was only about an 8 or 10 yard, but he is so fast and so strong. He turned and went upfield, and he was in the end zone before half the guys could react to him. Yeah. And I think he loves to compete. I think he loves that 40-yard bomb, but I think he loves to catch the ball and run with it. I just think the guy, and I think if he only caught 3 passes in a game, would he be frustrated? A little bit. But if they win, I don't think
championship game last year.
You look at just look at last week. Carnell Tate, 180 yards receiving. I mean, and what was impressive to me, both those guys did a lot of hands catching. They didn't. Yes. Wasn't the ball coming in like Carnell Tate when he caught that long bomb? He put his hands up. And Jeremiah in the end zone coming across from left to right, and he just put his hands out. And I mean, strength. No. And I'll tell you, guys that meet Carnell Tate in person, they'll tell you that nothing like they imagined him is big. He's much bigger and stronger than they imagined seeing him on TV.
Yeah,
anyway, go ahead.
You were only supposed to pick one, so
Okay.
Maddie asked you to pick one. Come on.
I gave the answer. I'm in politics.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No. You had another question?
Yeah. So don't hate me for this. So my rugby league team, which is the NFL's version, is the Parramatta Eels. I tell every American to go for Parramatta Eels. Don't wear their colours if you're a Buckeyes fan. Have a guess why.
Wait a minute. Say that
they're
again.
Blue and yellow.
Oh, they're blue and yellow.
Spot on, bro. Yeah. So when Bogsy took my mate, myself and Grant over there, and we bought him a little, I'm a fanatical Parramatta fan. The worst thing is they're the same colours as that dumpster up north.
Yeah.
And I got Eric a jersey because he took us around town and done it. I'm forever grateful for what he done for us, the experiences we got. I said to my mate, look, we'll get him a footy jersey, So we got him a jersey, and he goes, Matty, there's one good reason why that jersey's not big enough. I said, why is that? He goes, because they're blue and yellow. Love it, bro.
I got to go with him, Matty. So next time, bring him a Aussie rules. The Griffith Swans.
Yeah, the Griffith Swans and the
red
Sydney
and white.
Swans are red and white.
Right?
I have got some things, but unfortunately, due to the great man Donald Trump, I can't send him over to America at the moment.
Tariffs or
Tariffs and postal. Yeah,
oh,
we're not
did
allowed
you
to
guys?
send
You
things.
guys didn't stop shipping stuff, did you? Because of the was Australia one of those?
Yeah, can't send to America. And I got this care package from the Griffith Swans, like my local team. So it's a bit different. So for Foxy, in American football, you got college and then NFL. In Australia, you got NRL, which is the NFL.
Yep.
You got the reserve grade, second grade, third grade, but then they call them groups. So out here in Griffith, they've got like group 20. So there's teams like the small towns around the region.
Yep.
You can play like country football and make $600, $700, $800 a game, which in terms of American sports, it's not a lot, but a lot of blokes use that and they just play footy for the year. And
yeah.
So my local Aussie rules team are the Griffith Swans, and they're red and white. So I seen the lady that I know pretty well. I said, look, I've got a couple of friends in America I need to send this to. Yep, done. Send me a care package. The week that I love the bloke, Donald Trump, said, no, Australian Post more or less has gone bang. Can't send it. So the package is sitting there ready for you blokes to go. So when Trumpy goes, we're good, I'll be sending it over.
All right.
There you go.
I actually have a box here too. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Yes, those are my riding shorts, by the way, folks. I'm getting ready to ride my bike when I got a box here too. It's not labeled with an address because, originally it was going to go to Bogsy by way and from Bogsy to Griffin. But it's got a T-shirt and a koozie in there. Remember when I was going to send that to you, but I never got.
Yes,
we never have consummated the.
I think the postage was going to cost an arm and a leg.
I think you had to. Yeah, I think the IRS was. It was time for tax season, or I don't know. Who the hell knows? One of these days we'll get it over to you.
We'll get there. Look, I think it might be cheaper if I just come across and we'll go to a few games.
Well, yeah, it would be cheaper for me if you come across.
Hey, and the last question I got to ask, and I've got this up on the computer, and as soon as I heard the name, I knew who it was straight away. Julian Fleming.
Oh yeah.
He got himself in a bit of trouble, the poor lad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously we don't know all the circumstance, but what we do know is he and his girlfriend were on an ATV.
Yeah.
A deer ran out in front of him, hit the deer, injured him, killed her, but he was drinking. And so now
I seen a
they
picture
have
of the
charged.
ATV.
Now I believe the charge is DUI manslaughter. Is that what
it's up on the thing? It's been homicide by motor vehicle, DUI. And I seen a picture up on Facebook or Instagram of the ATV. It's totally wrecked.
I don't know if you have deer. You have deer over there, right?
Old kangaroos, bro.
Oh yeah.
Hey, come on.
Yeah. Fly me kangaroo down. Whatever. However that song goes. But anyway, what do you mean? Come on. I know they have kangaroo, but deer's standing the damn right in front of you, and they don't move. The thing about it is
they jump out like crazy.
A deer
Spot on.
hits a full-size vehicle, it could kill a person. I mean, you hit it with a car, it'll kill you just as easily. But here's the thing. I think it's in every state or most states in America. If you have been drinking and you're involved in an accident, you may not have been at fault, but because you're drinking, you are at fault.
Yeah.
And so don't know how much. I never saw how much he was drinking or whatever, but it's very unfortunate for all families. I mean, a lot of people's lives have been
it's like with my job. Like I run a sports club here, and it's only a little country town. Like the boys might only come in for 4, 5, 6 beers. Like we call them schooners, which is about 425 mil. I said, boys, how's getting home tonight? Oh, Billy Bob's going to come pick us up. and you know full fact that you're not going to come get them. And so look, just think, because in Australia, if you get done high range drinking, they will sting you like an arm and leg. But then what they do is they put a breathalyzer in your car. So every time after that, you have to breathalyze into your car. And if just say I say, hey,
To start it?
To start it. So if I get Melissa in here to say start my car, they somehow can detect it because it's not my system in that. So
Right.
if you move the car, like if you just want to move it from the garage to the side of the road just to get them out of the road so someone can get out, they'll pick you up and they'll find you because they think it's your car, that you're the one moving the car. And I say to my boys, look, hey, like it's not worth it. Go have a couple of beers. Yeah, cool. Don't drive home. Get a taxi. Like around here, we call it the 5-minute city. If I want to go, like they call them, not a nightclub, it's just they used to call them RSL clubs for when the blokes come back from the war. It's a 5-minute drive to go to the club. 5 minutes is to go watch the boys play footy. 5 minutes to go get a feed. Get a taxi. It costs you $20.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of money. Where if you get this the thing in the car, costs you $200 a month, costs you $2,500 Australian to set it up. So like, and I always say to the boys, hey, $2,500, I can go to America for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
Right.
What do you want to do? Go to America or pay for a thing in your breathalyzer? And when I read this Julian Fleming thing, it's like, damn, seriously?
Yeah.
1 or 2 beers.
Yeah, they have that.
I always put things into perspective, saying, hey, I want to go to Ohio State every year. I want to go at least one game. Yeah, don't waste your money on beers to pay for the fine or pay for the consequences.
Yeah. They have that process here, and it's not after first offense, but they do have that where they put that device in your car.
Yep.
I mean, a first-time offense here probably costs you, I don't know what that would be in Australia, but it's about $10,000. That's a minimum.
First
you
offense,
probably lose your license for 6 weeks to 6 months.
First offense, I think, depending on what range you go, like if you're just low range, I think it's 3 months, maybe $600-700. But we're pretty weak. We're pretty weak over here with offenses and like that.
Yeah. It's amazing to me that athletes, and not in this case, but other athletes, and there's some guys that got caught doing stupid stuff just recently. Forget about Sanchez at the moment, but they're like, they got millions of dollars and they're going to drive their Ferrari home at 2 a.m. I mean, we had, not to dwell on that, but I don't know if you ever listened to the Scoop podcast.
Yep.
And what happened to him.
Yeah.
That was right down the street from where our sister lived for 26 years. I mean, we are going to be right in that neighborhood and right near or on that street here in November when Foxy and I go up for the UCLA game. And how many lives were ruined because of somebody's, in his case, I don't know him, but what I understand, some arrogance and just plain ass stupidity.
Yeah.
I mean, you should figure out first of all, 3 a.m, you shouldn't be driving at all. But after you realize you're driving the wrong way on a road, that should make you stop before you continue on and kill somebody. So anyway,
I done it once. I done it once to get out to Melissa's house many moons ago, and I woke up the next morning. I just thought, why? It's not worth it.
Yep.
But anyway.
All right. Are we done? Are we out? Any more questions, Maddie? Foxy?
No.
Thoughts?
I'm all good, man.
Okay.
It was great. I loved it.
All right.
And this is what I loved. As soon as you said 12 o'clock, I was like, yeah, I'm here. Things you do for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, we'll try and do one later in your day. It'll be earlier in your day and later in mine.
There you go.
Hey, it's all part of what you love doing, man. I love the Buckeyes. I said that Bogsy, since going that one day, and just on the communities, you meet people and that. I've only met you through Eric's page. I met your brother through your page. Man, I love it. I'd invite you blokes over for beers every day of the week. I love it.
So where did Freddie go?
No offense, but he was falling asleep.
Oh my God! I thought it was his birthday.
Yeah, but even though I'm older than him, he just hasn't got the
All right.
See,
Well, tell him
Mojo
we'll catch
legend.
him the next time, and happy birthday.
Done.
And,
Will do, bro. I appreciate
all
it.
right,
I
appreciate it.
love what you do, man. And go Buckeyes.
All
38-10.
right, go Bucks.
Go Bucks. I-O.
Ayo.
As always, America, land of the free, because of the brave. Stay focused, America, and Australia too.
I love it.
Billy Bob, peace out. See you.
Woo.